hello, hello. Well, I think this is going to start soft-spoken and end in a whisper. Somehow or other, when I make an ASMR video, it always gets me relaxed and I just get quieter. And if you know me in real life, you know that's not very often. How are y'all doing? You good? Kinda, sorta? Yeah, me too. Now spring keeps teasing us. I was doing some gardening prep and putting the hummingbird fountain together on the porch and in a t-shirt. And tonight, with the wind chill, it's down into the low 20s, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So the horses' blankets are back on. It's like every other day. But that's okay. I'm still in a better mood. Having a lot more time outdoors. It's so good for my head and my heart and my animals too. Which brings me to this reason for a little chat before we start. I want to say thank you so much, so much, so much for all your support after my before the last video, when I started monetizing this channel. And the response has been so good, and so helpful, and so beautiful. You guys are very generous as well, so those super thanks. Wow, I didn't really actually know how I turned it on, or if I did it right, or if I did it at all, because I didn't see it on the video, but thank you, thank you. Definitely feeling better. So, I just thought I'd do a little old-fashioned or free spirit, a little clearing, a little energy clearing. I think Margot's looking for me. And I have some cards. I thought I'd pull a card for you and for me. See what's been going on, where we can have a little extra guidance, or a little more awareness. What do you think? So I have some selenite here. I keep this on a shelf in the living room, and lately Abby has been wanting to eat up on that shelf, and I just realized today that this is that's where I keep this. So she likes her food to be cleared, evidently. It's just funny. So we use this to help us clear the area. I guess selenite attracts all of that kind of psychic pollution, wasted energy. Well, not wasted, I shouldn't say that, but spoiled energy. How's that? Sour energy past its due date. Yeah, it gets a little stale, which is why spring gets so exciting, because you can open all the windows and just blow it all away. Just clear the air. I was burning some sage. I have a big basket of sage bundles now. So many different types and from different places, and gifts and things. So all right, let's start with a little sacred sage spray. me see. Put my glasses. Tell you what this says. Purified water. Sacred sage botanical essence. Come on. It has to say what's in here, doesn't it? It says white sage and cedar. White sage hand-picked in the high desert mountains and other wildcrafted and organic sacred herbs are included in this unique blend to create balance and harmony. Our harvesting and gathering supports renewable resourcing and sustainable agriculture. Simply spray into your personal space, maintaining your healing intentions. I put a few little crystals down in there. Clear quartz, just to amplify and to make a nice sound. I like having the microphone right here, but also having the extra mics. You can make just delicate sounds. I told you this was old-fashioned ASMR. Ready? Here we go. Wow, that's like spraying across the room. I must have some real potent energy hanging around in here that this needs to take care of. Okay, sometimes it helps to put it upside down. There we go, that's better. Okay, come here. Lean in here a little closer. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, just bring it all over. And in your mind, just see the energy, just like a little vacuum cleaner, just pulling out any little dark, little fluffy pieces of gucky stuff in your aura. Cleanse that aura. Now I'm gonna do me. I need it. Use this one in quite a while. It's from Medicine Flower, Gifts of the Earth. Definitely smells good. I can also use it on the table to clear the energy. So I can have this space to put the cards down. A little different hue. I'm dreaming of tropical water. I'm a water sign that lives in the desert. Explain that to me. Although I'm in a transition zone, which I also really like, because I'm close to the mountains. How about you? Where's your favorite terrain? What environment would be your favorite place to live in? I definitely have to have a mix, and it can't be flat. I need to have mountains in profile of some sort close by. Although a nice big lake with a stream would be So, these are some older decks of my Oracle cards, which I think are really fun. They're lighthearted kind of messages, and it's easy to do just a card reading with one or two cards to just get a general, like a positive boost. This one is the Earth Magic Oracle cards. It's a nice book. It is held up well. Here are the cards. Yeah. This is a deck of 48 cards. I love the illustration on the cover. It's very yin and yang. Isn't that nice? Witches up and witches down. Nice solid cards. Still a little slippery after a lot of use. The other deck is the Universal Wisdom Oracle cards. These are really pretty too. And has a similar sized guidebook. Maybe not as, oops, I was going to say, not as well put together. A chunk of it has come loose. Goes that way. But still, a nice book. So this deck has 45 cards. And the illustration on each of the cards is a butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly, butterfly. I always wondered why they weren't called flutterbys, because they flutter by. What do they have to do with butter? Right? These are my deep thoughts tonight. Alright, here we are. Very pretty cards. Very slick. Sometimes I like to claim some like this. Okay. I'll take the selenite. Ready? Too slippery. I did it once in one of my old videos. Uh-oh. Troublemaker Marco. I'm kind of surprised that Abby hasn't come over. I have the heat turned up in the other room, and in the wintertime I keep a curtain between the rooms. I close this half of the house off, and I just put the curtain back up because it's blowing so hard outside that this room is freezing. It's got high ceilings, and I don't want all the propane to come this way, all that propane heat. I'll waste all that beautiful warmth in this big giant room, so kitty cats are in the other room. Said Miss Margot. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. I have both tables set up for videos. She loves the tables. Okay. Let's get comfy. So, universal wisdom and earth magic. I'm going to pull an earth magic card for you and a universal wisdom card for me. I need to hear from the universe. And I think you could use a little magic. Have you been getting out a little bit, at least, for fresh air every day? A little stretch? Okay. Alright, that's better. So, let's do a little earth magic here. Wow. Childhood. Innocence. Well, usually it takes a little longer to get the message, but you saw it. It jumped out. Childhood. See that? Prop it up like that. Maybe with the box. They're so slippery. Okay. I'm going to read the message to you from the book of Earth Magic. Childhood. The light from the heavens falls upon the children through the rays of the sun that illuminate their presence like a spotlight. The little girl reaches out to these bright beams, and these elements together portray an idyllic childhood activity for many of us who have had the privilege of exploring the natural world. The blanket of lush meadow grass embraces a small pond, which leads to a more distant valley, one that is darker and shrouded by the very clouds that also produce this remarkable play of light. In their exploration of the world, it's inevitable that these children will at some point lose their original innocence. It doesn't have to be a permanent loss, however. We don't need to live in constant fear in anticipation of such an event, nor do we have to reconcile the loss of that state of purity by constantly romanticizing the past and missing out on the present. The wisdom and faith we've accrued from our life experiences are keys to recapturing that state of innocence. The light that will guide us through any dark passage is the light of spirit from within that connects us with Source. Finding our innocence once again, we become aware that it was never lost, just forgotten. Innocence is not simply a lack of guilt or shame, but a quality in itself, one that you naturally possess when you first come into this existence. There are challenges you have faced throughout life that have further shaped your personality and character. You have also likely encountered moments following a disappointment or loss when you turn sour or cynical, and no doubt have had times when layers of anger or fear block the flow of your vitality, your life force. Yet in spite of all this, there is a core of innocence that you can reawaken by releasing any shame that has covered over the truth of who you are. Take any opportunity to heal this shame and let it go, so you can revisit that state of purity. Doing so helps you see every moment with fresh eyes and removes the filters that inhibit your light and your love from coming forth. You are truly a child of God, so allow yourself to be that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beauty. Well, that was lovely. Now let's see what universal wisdom has in store for me. I haven't used my cards in so long, and usually when I get warmed up with them again, they can be quite harsh. Just refresh the surface. Oh, and the cards match me. Blue, 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 blue. I don't plan these things. The timing just happens. I just came in from feeding the horses their second supplements of the day, of the night, and I almost got blown across the yard. The only thing sticking out was my headlamp and my nose. Freezing, freezing, freezing. They were very happy that I gave them their feed and extra hay, and they have their blankets on. So I'm feeling very connected to to nature, the natural world. And now tapping in to that universal wisdom, that spark of inspiration, confirmation of what we already know. The wind is gusting and gusting. Blow away all of the stuck and crappy energy from the past few months. So where should I place my focus? Coming into this new season. It's different energy in this deck. There's more than one. Okay. You stinker. Compassion. Oh, that light is bright. Earth changes. Alright, let's see. Compassion. Well, why couldn't I get creativity? Huh? Why? Okay. I'll just hold it up when I read it. I'm going to take that part out. Compassion. You are a jewel, even though you may not see it. All that you consider to be imperfect allows a greater light to shine through. Even in darkness, you are eternally bright. Kuan Yin, known in Buddhism as the goddess of compassion and mercy, has shown up in your reading today to ask you to be more compassionate towards yourself. Yeah, right? She asks you to reflect on the many times you have critical thoughts about yourself. Make an effort to replace these negative thoughts with positive and loving ones. Your spirit lives always in perfection, even though from the physical plane you may perceive that you are less than perfect. Perfection exists in all things, even though we may not always see it. All is perfect, and all is sacred. Remember that the physical world is simply spirit clothed in matter. From a spiritual perspective, life is a game whose sole objective is for us to remember who we truly are. You are an eternal being of love and light, and even though your mind may see imperfection in many things, in actuality, everything is perfect, just the way it is. Everything serves a purpose, otherwise it would cease to exist. Do not strive to perfect your flaws. Accept them. Love yourself as you are. View things compassionately, and you will see the underlying beauty that exists in all things. That's so lovely. was actually very sweet and not so mean. And the other card, Earth Changes, the Rainbow, and the Forest, and lots of lights in the sky like Aurora Borealis. Alright. Earth Changes. I don't think I've ever got this card before. As we begin the new millennium, the energies which have affected and influenced our Earth for the past 2,000 years are shifting and new energies are emerging. This is a little bit dated. The age of Pisces is over and the new Aquarian age has begun. Through Aquarius, we will start to change the way we think and feel. The way we each perceive life is already changing and will continue to do so. There is now a giant infusion of love streaming down upon the earth and swelling out from within its heart, just as love is streaming down upon you and swelling from within your own heart. This influx of love is changing your awareness of life and affecting humanity as a whole. I know that deep down inside this is true, even though the illusion tries to convince us of the opposite. Have heart. That was just my little input there. You are asked not to fear any changes occurring in your life at present, for all is happening in accordance with the divine plan. Current events are simply paving the way for a brighter future. Love illuminates all darkness. Be positive and bright about the future. If at times you feel confused or fearful, remember that this is part of the transformation process. Surrender all that no longer serves you. Let all that remains buried in your heart surface in order that it may be healed. In doing this, you will make room for new and beautiful energies to emerge that will enable you to fully embrace a coming golden age in your life. This is very appropriate right now for me, because when I start paying too much attention to the outer world, I do feel a lot of anxiety and fear and the what ifs. And I talk to myself all the time to change that, to turn the page and read something else or do something else. And so far it's been helping a lot. But this is very true, that it is all going the way it's supposed to. There's way too many moving pieces in the world. So it's better just to focus on those things that are closest to you, that bring you energy, that bring you joy. That's where your power is, and that's what we need right now. We need to all focus on the things that are uplifting to us, that help our family, that help other people when you have the opportunity, and to know in your heart that we're all okay. We're all okay. We're all okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. Love always wins. get a message, a reminder, a little poke from the universe like this. I'll keep the cards up for a little bit, just to sort of instill the idea. So, you need to work on remembering those qualities that made you so happy and carefree. It's okay to indulge in that once in a while. Just move. Movement is so important. I know because I become a couch potato sometimes too. And thank heavens I have a little dog that loves to go for walks about 6 times a day. Alright. Are you feeling relaxed?